All right, quick video. The quick video on what I think Karmelo Anthony actually did with the money, or at least his family. People are saying like, how are they broke? How are they broke? Blah blah blah. Why do they need more money? And I think, and this is pretty smart, especially if they already know that there's like a very good chance that Karmelo will be found guilty and go to jail for some length of time, whatever. I think what they did was they paid the entirety of his bail with the money. Because if you do that and the person shows up to court, you get that entire amount back. A lot of times is what we see is if bail is like $250,000, which I think his was, a lot of people think that you only got to come up with 10% of that money. You technically don't, and at the same time you do. That 10% is what you come up with to give to a bail bondsman company, and then they will front you the other 90%, so the other $225,000. And then as payment for fronting you that money, when you show up to court, they get the entire $250,000 back, and they keep your 10% as payment for fronting you that money. What I think the family did in an effort to just keep like $250,000, and it's not, they're not doing anything illegal to do it this way. It's actually pretty smart, and I don't even think it's dishonest, honestly. It's whatever. But I think they just paid the entirety of the $250,000, and that, I think they had made like $400,000 or something like that. And then yeah, I just think they took that, so when Karmelo goes to court, he shows up for his court date and stuff like that, the family will have met the obligation of using that money towards his legal fees. And then now that the case is over and nobody's like looking and stuff like that, nobody cares, now they get to just kind of pocket $250,000 in donations. And yeah, I mean, I think that's what they're gonna do. I personally don't really have a problem with it. I mean, I know people are big upset over this case. You feel one way or another. I think he's guilty of second degree murder. I don't think it was first degree, but he'll have his day in court, and that's for the courts to decide, not me. But I just keep seeing these videos where people are like, where's the money, and nobody has like put out that idea that most of the money went to bail, and then what was left of the 150,000 and stuff, that's probably what went to lawyers and some other stuff. And then kind of the more bullshit spending, the stuff that people like criticize over, where they like rented out a bigger house and all that other stuff, maybe got like a different car. But I think that's where $250,000 went. And I think that once this is all over, they're going to keep that $250,000. They might selfishly pocket it, or they might use it to, like, I don't know, put money on his books in perpetuity or something like that. But that's all I have to say about that. Bye.